time for a quick overview of the new fish room. Run you through everything really quick. Out here, the only thing that's out here now is the pump, the main system pump. It's just a reflow Barracuda that's been upgraded to the Hammerhead, gold actually, and just the CO2 tank for the calcium reactor. This is just a bunch of extra plumbing and lighting that's left over. This is the door to the fish room. If you remember the old setup, there was no walls. Everything was just kind of out in this area. Had a big Rubbermaid tub and Refugium and frag tank. There was a counter along the back wall to give me some workspace. Everything was just open to the garage. It was okay. I did run a chiller because the summers got really hot, but it was fine. The other issue was humidity, but I just got a dehumidifier that took care of that. But after running it for a couple of years, you just learn what works, what doesn't, what can be improved. The main reason I did this was the heat. After I switched back to metal halides, the chiller just ran 24/7. So I wanted to get some AC in this area. I'm not going to AC the whole garage, so it was time to put up some walls. So this wall's new, and then this wall down here. I spent a few months. I tore down the whole tank, had everything out here in a holding tub, and just went at it. Put up new walls, insulation wiring, had the AC, an AC return put in, and that's it. And it's been running great. Real happy I did this. So why don't I open the door here, and I'll take you guys inside. All right. All right, so here we go. The room is small. It's only 7 foot by 9 foot. And everything in here is laid out much more efficiently than it was before. I knew the exact space I was working with, so Sump and frag tank and mangrove tank, everything was designed for this space specifically, trying to maximize tank sizes and storage. Plenty of shelves. I'm still going to do something with this wall, if anything, just hooks to hold fish nets and that kind of thing. So I'll give you just a kind of quick rundown of how everything's working here. There's tons of plumbing, tons of tanks. We'll just try to go through it real quick. So this right here, this is the back wall of the tank. This wall of the room shares the dining room. That's where the tank is. So the tank backs up to this wall. And inside the tank is a almost coast-to-coast overflow. And it's internal. And then there's the holes are drilled on the back glass, and this is an outer box. It's like an outer overflow box that attaches to the back of the tank. So the water flows from the internal overblocks through the wall of the tank into this external overflow box, and then into the bean animal plumbing. And it's 1.5 inch pipe. So everything drains down, goes straight through the shelving, and it comes out here and into the sump. The sump is a Life Reef sump, custom made. It's based off one of his Berlin sumps, and basically it's just larger. And I think the width of this sump, the length of it is somewhere around 50 inches. And around, if I remember correctly, around 22 or 24 inches deep, front to back. And about, I believe, 22 inches tall. And his sumps come with the filter canisters. The only thing I'm running right now is carbon. If I wanted to, I could put GFO, not GFO, but some kind of phosphate absorbing media. And these don't tumble, so GFO wouldn't work. So the water flows into the sump, in a few spots here. Let's see, this right here is the secondary drain, and then this one here comes this way and into here. All right, that's the primary drain, and that's the skimmer compartment. That's a life reef skimmer. And then there is the emergency drain is in the very back. And you can see it back here, the other white one, and it goes down into here, into the skimmer compartment also, but right there in the back. But there's normally no water flowing down through there. Probe holder is integrated into the sump. It's these here. So I've got temp, pH, redox, and salinity. And then I've got some extra holders here. These here is for level control for the sump and the ATO. These other two pipes here and here, these are for the chiller. The chiller is pulling water out of the sump and putting it back in. So I've got the chiller located actually outside this wall here. And that's the plumbing for the chiller. So next to the sump on the right here is my Refugium, purely for Cheetomorpha. It's normally tumbling, but it's gotten so big that it's now hitting the sides of the wall. So it's stuck. But normally, this sucker is spinning freely, and I've got separate videos online for that, so you should check it out. And this light is an HPS grow light from Floralux, 150 watt, and it just kicks butt. This thing grows from softball size to, beach ball size. This tank is 22 inches square, 24 tall. So it's time to trim that. I gotta do that later today. So after the water flows into the sump, it flows out right here. Goes back here behind my storage, behind the cold Palmer pump for the calcium reactor, and in the back corner there is where it goes out. And that goes out to the pump I showed you earlier, the reflow. So that's the pump on the that's the pipe on the right. Pipe on the left, that's coming back in. And I've got a junction there in case I want to bypass the UV. But right now everything's flowing through the UV, so everything flows this way. And this is the UV. It's behind the calcium reactor. And here's the output. That's the output of the UV. Flows back this way under the power bars. Alright, now here we split. Okay, I've got some water, the water that keeps continuing straight. That's coming all the way back, and that's feeding the Refugium. And the Refugium is fed by the spray bar. It needs to be clean, a little too much algae growth there, but that's what I'm doing later today. And that spray bar shooting water across the top of the Refugium is what normally keeps this Cheeto spinning. And then the water here will leave out through this bottom pipe. This is the overflow right here inside the Refugium. And it comes out the bottom pipe and back into the middle section of the sump. If for some reason something's clogged or whatever and the overflow gets too high, right here is an emergency overflow. And again, back into the sump. So I'll take you back over here where the split was. Alright, if we're not going to the Refugium, then we're going back up. Okay, we come up through the top here and we split again. Alright. Some of the water is going all the way back up and back into the tank. The other bit of water is coming back here and up into this plumbing which feeds the frag tank. It's a 40 breeder frag tank. Metal halide and T5 lighting, just like the main display. And then finally, the rest of the water feeds into the Mangrove Tank. Call this one here Mangrove Hill. This is all I have right now is 2 mangroves. There are actually several groups of leaves taller, and I trimmed them back so I can get some branches to start sprouting off of these instead of one big long stalk. And both the Mangrove Tank and the Frag Tank have life reef overflows. I didn't want to be bothered drilling. This was a nice, just simple solution, and they just work great. They always restart, no problem. And all those do is dump back down, straight down through the shelving, and come back down into the sump. Alright, so that should give you a good idea of the whole plumbing situation. Over here is the main brain of the entire setup, my Profilux controller. And it's controlling everything, lighting, heating, chilling. I can access this from anywhere. It's on my smartphone, on any computer. This is my fragging station and testing station. And then to the left here is a quarantine tank if I need it. More storage. Above you can see my AC vents. One's pushing in, one's pulling out. Keeps the humidity from collecting in here. It works really well as long as the AC is running in the house. Then it's running out here. It's not on a separate system. But so far, this spring and summer, it's keeping this room nice and cool. So keeping this area cool, I've got 200 gallons inside in the main display, and then probably around another 150 out here. So we're talking almost half my water volume out here. When this is hot, obviously that's adding to the heat in the display also, and just making it that much harder for the chiller to cool. So the chiller should run much better with this room being cooled as well. Alright, and that's pretty much it. That's the quick overview. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer them. There's a whole thread on Reef Central talking about this calcium reactor setup with the Cole Palmer pump. Alright, so guys, thanks for stopping by and checking out the new fish room. Appreciate it. And keep looking for updates on my channel, and next we'll do another update of the actual display. Thanks a bunch.